Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's look is going to be the blue for the rainbow, so if you want to see how I did this look, just keep on watching. And don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Okay, so my house can be kind of loud sometimes, so we're going to try to do a talk through, and then if it gets too loud, we will just skip to a voiceover during the editing process. But today's look is going to be the blue for the rainbow series. And I have already done my face, my eyebrows. I've already got on, no actually I don't. I need to put on my primer potion. I'm using Urban Decay primer potion in the shade Eden. So as you can see, we wound up having to do a voiceover, which is totally fine, but as I said, my house is always super loud. But for my eyes, I just used the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I applied that to the upper and lower lid, and now I'm just going over it with the Airspun Loose Face Powder Original Formula. This is just going to set in our primer and make sure that everything goes on really smooth. I'm also going to use that same powder and set the under eye as well. And then using the LA Colors Matte 5-Color Eyeshadow Palette in Brown Tweed, I'm taking the second lightest shade and applying it very lightly to my crease just to have something for all the blues to blend into. Now I'm just using NYX Jumbo Shadow Pencil in the shade Milk, and I am applying that to the inner third of my eyelid, and I'm just going to blend that out to give our first shade something to stick to make it brighter. I actually end up using a few other shades because this one just wasn't bright enough for me. And that shade, along with the majority of the shades that we will be using today, came from the 120 palette. Now I'm going in with a shade of blue that's a few shades darker than that one, and I'm going to apply that almost everywhere else. I'm going to put it on the outer corner and up in the crease area, blending into that transition shade. At first it looks really light, but I'm just going to keep applying it until I get the buildable coverage that I wanted. I'm also going to take that shade and I'm going to run it along my lower lash line, and I'm going to blend it down pretty far because I'm going to go back in later on with a darker shade up against my actual lash line. And for my brow highlight, I'm actually just using that Airspun powder again, and where I already had some on there, it just it worked as a nice highlight, just something to blend into even further. And then I'm going back in with a blue that's a little bit darker than that one, and I'm going to focus this one a little bit more towards the outer part of the lid but when I get less product on my brush, I'm going to start dragging it in too. With this blue, I'm also going to run it closest to my lash line. Now I'm just using a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm just going to use that to blend all the colors till they're pretty seamless. And then I'll end up having to go back in and add some here and take away there. But it's always better to start out with less and apply more as you go, because it's easier to add to than it is to take away. Here I'm just going in with a shade that's just a little bit darker and really focus this one on the outer part of your eye. And again, I'm going in with a clean brush and just blending it out more. And this one is a little bit more of a purple blue. And again, I'm just focusing it on the outer corner to give it a little bit of depth and just a little bit more color payoff. And then we're going to blend it out again too. But with this one, I'm just going to more push it than anything. I'm not really swiping it a whole lot. I'm just more pushing it into the skin. And here you'll see me taking another shade that is darker than the first shade and going over my inner part of my lid again. Here I'm just taking the NYX pencil again, and I'm going to blend that on my inner corner and on the inner third of my lower lash line with a flat brush. And then I'm going to go over that with the yellow from the LA Colors 3-color eyeshadow palette, Peony, however you say that, I don't know. But I'm taking the yellow shade and applying that there, and I'm also going to kind of drag it up into the inner part of my crease as well. And then we're going to go back in and blend a little bit more until you get it looking the way that you like it. And with the yellow, I just really like yellow and blue together. I think it's very pretty, and I think it's really fun. For liner, I use the Sonia Kashuk Black Tanzanite. It's a purple, blue, black liner. And then I just curled my lashes and added some mascara. And for liquid liner, I use the Wet n Wild Mega Liner in the shade Black. After sweeping away any of the fallout that might have happened, I'm going in with Revlon cream blush in the shade Flush, number 200. And I'm just applying that lightly to my cheeks because we've got a lot going on with the eyes. I didn't want to go too heavy with the cheeks. And then for my highlight, I'm using the Wet n Wild Illuminating Palette in the number 320 Catwalk Pink. This stuff is really, really shiny, and it's kind of got more glitter in it than just sheen, which doesn't bother me because I like glitter, but for some people they may not like it. I don't know. And then for lips, I'm using Hard Candy's Anonymous 866, and I'm going to put Maybelline number 60 Nude Illusion over the top of it. And that is everything, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this one. I know I had fun doing it. I hope y'all recreate it, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. So I hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.